Welcome to Looking Within, a podcast for the spiritual explorer in each of us. I'm Julie. I love to explore the inner life using contemplative practices, and I love to help others to do the same. In our time together, I hope you gain a sense of hope, meaning, joy, and love. As a Christian spiritual explorer, I hope to offer some thoughts to help you see God's presence in activity in ever-expanding ways. As you listen, ponder, and experience the divine, feel free to use the spiritual perspective you are most comfortable with in our practice today. Now, let's begin. Christmas is coming soon, isn't it? As a meaningful lead-in to Christmas, the 4 weeks of the season of Advent can be of help to us in observing and incorporating the impact of Jesus' life on the human journey. The Advent wreath, used in many Christian churches and in private homes, has wonderful words assigned to its 4 candles, words that remind us of some of the many wonderful gifts the presence of Christ brings into our lives. Last week we considered the word hope. Today we'll ponder a second word, joy. If you're like me, you may often mistake happiness for joy. Certainly an easy mistake to make, as they can seem pretty synonymous at first glance. The key is knowing that happiness is related to outer happenings, and joy comes from within us, independent of outer circumstances or happenings. Eckhart Tolle, spiritual teacher and author of The Power of Now, helps us flesh this out more fully. He reiterates that things and outer conditions can give us pleasure, but they can never give us joy. He adds that the happiness that comes from some secondary source is never very deep, that it's only a pale reflection of the joy of being. And what is the joy of being? For Tolle, it's the peace you find within as you consciously live in the present moment, accepting what is, not mentally resisting the flow of life through frustration or anger, but yielding to life and connecting to being, the ground of being, to God. Tolle further writes, quote, "Joy is uncaused and arises from within as the joy of being. The joy of being, which is the only true happiness, cannot come to you through any form, possession, achievement, person, or event, through anything that happens. The moment that mental judgment stops through acceptance of what is, you are free of the mind. You have made room for love, for peace, for joy." End quote. Are you looking for more joy in your life these days? Our cultural celebration of Christmas seems to promise joy to us, but the celebratory traditions and gatherings may be more examples of those happy outer happenings than creators of real joy. Things like hope and joy are really an inside job, flowing out from the presence of Christ within us. Let's ponder the inner origin of joy now as we enjoy a slightly prolonged time of silence. It seems helpful to insert a little extra quiet into these busy December weeks. In this quiet space and time, I'd invite you to gently close your eyes. I'll sound the Tibetan singing bowl, which will call you to look within. As you're listening to the bowl's reverberations, take 3 deep breaths. Then let your breathing return to normal whenever you'd like. Hear the sound of the bowl now. Let it center you. Let it remind you that God is here with you. Here's a spiritual practice. that will help you more routinely experience joy. Mentally name a few everyday activities that you perform frequently. Things that you may consider uninteresting, boring, tedious, or irritating. The list may include commuting to work, buying groceries, doing laundry or dishes, brushing and flossing your teeth, anything that seems less enjoyable than other things you could choose to do. In the days to come, whenever you're engaged in those activities, let them be a vehicle for alert presence. And in these moments, sense the alert, alive stillness within you in the background of the activity. You'll enjoy any activity in which you're fully present, when the activity is not just a means to an end. Try this right now as well, being alertly present to this place, to your body, to this moment. I'll be back with you in about 5 minutes. I'd invite you now to take a few deep breaths, in and out, in and out. Let these breaths fill you with strength and energy. Hear me sound the Tibetan singing bowl, and as the sound of the bowl reverberates and slowly dies away, you can gently open your eyes, remaining still for a moment longer. Joy doesn't come from what we do. It flows into what we do, and then out into the world from deep within us. When we look to the world around us to bring us joy, looking to our activities or to other people, we tend to live in constant frustration, for often life or people are not giving us what we think we need. Of course, as activities go, it's easier to enjoy fun activities because you naturally feel way more alive doing those compared to the more tedious and uninteresting activities. But remember that it's not the activities themselves or the people that bring joy into our lives. It's our state of consciousness, our ability to fully be in the moment. Joy flows from being fully present to life and others, fully present to God being in and around us, in both the exciting and mundane moments and everything in between. What a fabulous reminder to not always be waiting to start living, but rather to apply some gentle effort and a big dose of conscious presence to everything that we do and to every encounter that we have with others. When we do this, Tolle says, we find that expansion and positive change on the outer level is also much more likely to come into our lives. Apparently, there's both an inner and outer blessing when we willingly engage in the joy of being conscious, alertly present to the present moment and to God. Thank you for making time for your inner self today. Whatever you've discovered and experienced, carry that with you in the coming days. You can find more episodes at our website, gloria-day, that's DEI.com/lookingwithinpodcast, or subscribe through your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time.